It is a tough thing to try to make a living as a singer of jazz or swing music in this country. It is even trickier when your lungs give out. And yet, for more than a couple of decades, Alex Pangman has been fighting the good fight to keep the musical style of the 1920s and 30s available to us. And with that, we welcome Canada's sweetheart of swing, Alex Pangman, to TVO. Nice to have you back here. I say back here because you were here a long, long time ago.
I was, yes.
Previous incarnation, previous show, previous everything.
Absolutely. Previous everything.
Shall we show a little bit about what you've been up to lately?
Sure.
If you would, Mr. Director, have a look over there, Alex.
Okay.
I could love you night and day in the good old-fashioned way. I love you like the poets say, but it's never enough. I could love you fall and spring, and to you I'd sing every day of the year how I long to have you near, but it's never enough. Oh, I'm so greedy just to have you need me.
What did you just say to me as that was airing?
I said that was a dog and pony show.
Wasn't that the truth? When I listen to that music, I think to myself, this woman was born 50 years too late. Do you sometimes think that?
I sometimes think that, but I've taken a lot of good things away from the 21st century, so I'm glad that I was born when I was.
I know, but you know what? You would have fit in perfectly in the 20s and 30s, you know, as a flapper girl doing your thing, singing up on... Don't you think so?
I think so. Yeah. I've always loved that music from the 1920s, from Tin Pan Alley. Something about the lyrics and the melodies have always spoken to me. So perhaps I was around then, and this is just my new incarnation.
Oh, am I talking to Shirley MacLaine here? Is that what's going on? Do you know how you got turned on to this music in the first place? I
was in a stable with the horses, and one of the other equestrians was in a jazz band, and I had brought out my guitar and I was singing to my pony.
How old would you have been at the time?
I think it was about 15.
You were 15?
15, okay. And I was singing a Peter, Paul and Mary song. Stu Ball was a racehorse, to the pony, and a gentleman equestrian came over and asked if he could borrow my guitar, and he sat down and he started to play jazz. And all of a sudden, it just sort of clicked. It was like, here's the music that I like. It's melodic. It's not prefabricated the way that the pop music was in the 90s. And I glommed onto it, and I loved it, and have done ever since.
Isn't that amazing? Have you ever considered what your life might have been like had that moment not happened?
No, because it did happen, and I'm so happy that it did.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, I have said that if perhaps I had been born in Ireland, I might have a really big beard and be singing sea shanties. But no, it made sense for me and for the things I love to sing jazz music.
Clearly, you seem to have a thing for dogs as well. Is that right?
Well, I like animals, and I've always ridden horses, and I think it makes sense because horses, dogs, all those creatures have rhythm, and musicians have to have that as well.
How many takes on that video to make sure the dogs jumped and sat and did all the right things at the right time?
It was a lot of takes, and I think I said to the director, like, whose idea was this? And he said, well, actually, Alex, it was yours.
So you had no one to blame but you.
Yeah, exactly.
I do want to, you probably get sick and tired of talking about your lungs, but I do want to talk a bit about your lungs because you are so distinctive and extraordinary, your story. And I guess I want to start by asking, when did you first notice it was getting harder to breathe?
I'd been born with cystic fibrosis, which is a recessive inherited disease, primarily of the lungs. So I'd always had a little bit of a deficit, but it wasn't until my mid-teens when I was really starting to notice that it was winnowing away my quality of life. I couldn't keep up with my friends. I was in the hospital more often with infections. The first time I think I needed oxygen wasn't until I was in my late 20s. But, you know, people with CF we're sort of chameleons, and so you do with what you have. And I was pretty good at doing a lot with a little, but it happens incrementally.
And what did doctors tell you at the time would be your prognosis?
I don't know that they dished out those. I think we dealt with what we had in the moment, which was trying to always get the patient back to their baseline. But everybody knows, everybody's seen the pamphlets. We helped to raise money for CF, so we were stuffing envelopes that had the statistics. I knew that 12 was middle age. And so I kind of had this idea that my life was going to be different from my sisters, from my friends, right? And I think that's why my parents encouraged me to live in the moment. It's why they allowed me to have a pony. It's why they allowed me to be a jazz singer.
Did you assume at some moment, though, in your life that you were going to have a lung transplant, or you weren't going to see your 30s, 40s, 50s, et cetera?
Yeah. And I think it was being in clinic and seeing my cohorts, my fellow CF sufferers, also getting lung transplant. But it was sort of, while it was framed as being kind of scary, right? It was also seen as a life raft to me. When I really was at the end of my native lungs, I was so wanting for a new chance to breathe again.
And that was 10 years ago?
The first transplant was 10 years ago.
You had a double lung transplant 10 years ago.
Yes.
You are a singer, and you need a double lung transplant.
Yeah.
Did you, well, let's start small. Did you think, I'm never going to sing again at some point?
I didn't let myself think that. I think you had to sort of keep your, as my husband always said, keep your eye on the prize. And that was, you will sing again. I never really stopped singing, but although I stopped singing in public, but you will be able to stand on stage again. You will be able to ride a horse again. So you have to kind of cleave to those positive moments, or else darkness can creep in, especially when you can't breathe.
How long is the surgery for a double lung transplant?
Well, I was asleep, so I understand that it took about 8 hours.
Do you know who the donor of the first set of lungs was?
I don't, no. So privacy in Ontario is very big, and so you're encouraged to write a letter through the government Trillium organization. I sent them a letter. I thanked the family. I should say I wrote the family a letter thanking them for their part in what has been a life raft for me. And you wait to hear back from the family, but you don't always. And that's okay. I got the lungs and the goodwill, so I'm grateful.
You're grateful, you say, but that's not even the end of the story. Because 5 years ago, what happened? Your body started to reject those lungs?
It did. So this is not uncommon, especially for lungs. Lungs are particularly vulnerable as organ transplants go. And so I started to have what we call chronic rejection. So it felt a bit like deja vu again. I was feeling out of breath, all these things that were not welcome feelings in my life, especially when I'd been renewed, to start to see them taken away again. But here in Toronto, they do around 100 lung transplants a year. So they have a very strong program. They have wonderful doctors and team. And so I was assessed again for a second double lung transplant and got back onto the waiting list.
And it happened.
It did.
And you went through it all over again.
I did so.
Another 8-hour operation.
Well, the second transplant took longer because they have to undo the adhesions that they've sewed in the first set. Oof. So that one took longer. And I have to say the second transplant was a lot more, it's a bit more traumatic. Just emotionally, I think a lot of transplant patients feel a lot of anxiety coming out of transplant, and then going into retransplant, they really feel it. They know what's coming. The first time I had no idea. The second time I knew exactly what was coming, so it was a bit more a bundle. But I knew that at the end of it, I would be singing again. I knew that because I had already experienced it once.
But, I mean, I presume at some point during the second procedure, you are saying to yourself, holy cow, these ones better take. I don't want to go through this a third time.
I'm sure that people say that when they get married 8 times as well, right? No, I of course, I wanted them to be a great match, and it was pretty good.
So far, so good?
There's no wood, but I'll wrap my head.
You're knocking on wood. Okay, at what point when you, oh, I should ask, did you reach out to the second family as well?
I did reach out to the second family.
And?
I heard back a beautiful letter from a family member that was so touching. And so I really feel, knowing the details of this person's life, I feel I'm a bit more connected. My donor loved to sing. She grew up on a farm. All these things seem, I'm not going to say kismet, but they seem appropriate to me. And so I am very grateful for the gift that she gave me. You know, it's almost Christmas now, and we always talk about giving and presents and gifts and what are we going to get for Christmas? For somebody waiting for a kidney, for a pancreas, for a set of lungs, you can't put that under the tree. And so I always tell people at this time of year that there is something that costs nothing, that you can give when you pass to help people, to help families come together again, and to help somebody like me to breathe again. I've got lots of friends that are waiting for transplant. If you visit beadonor.ca in Ontario, beadonor.ca, or when you're renewing your license, and just consider consenting to becoming a donor, because you can be a real jerk your whole life. But if you sign your consent to be a donor, you can be a hero, and it really is just that simple.
Do you now have to do anything different as a singer from what other singers do? I don't know if it's prep or the way you warm up or how long a tour can be, or how about that?
Well, I have to be quite vigilant about being out in public in the, that cold and flu time of year, because I'm immunosuppressed. For life, I will always have my immune system suppressed so that I don't reject. And that means I get sick a lot, and it's a drag. So I've got a very beautiful little mask. One of them has houndstooth on it, one of them has flowers on it. So if you see that girl standing in line at the bank with the houndstooth mask on, that's me. Because I have to look after my beautiful lungs. I have to look after my voice. But as far as touring, yeah, I find long tours to be taxing, because my first priority is looking after my lungs.
Mm-hmm. And how do they feel?
They feel like mine. They feel like they always should have felt. You shouldn't have to think about each breath, and I don't, so it's great.
You tried out your second set of lungs in New Orleans not too long ago. What happened down there?
Yeah, I've actually made a couple of records in New Orleans. I feel sort of a kinship with that city because we think of it as the cradle of jazz, and I sing music that was born in that city. And so it's always been exciting for me to visit, but to take it steps further and record down there was quite inspirational.
The track we played off the top,
yes,
with all those dogs who wouldn't cooperate, It's Never Enough, came from that experience. The track It's Never Enough.
Yes.
What was that all about? What's the memory there?
Of the recording session or of the song? We recorded in this beautiful old church that had been converted into a recording studio. Beautiful acoustics, wonderful group of musicians who all inhabit the style of the 1930s, which is getting harder to find specialists. You know, as the music climate, the music industry changes, often musicians are forced to have a broader toolkit, and you find less specialist musicians, right? These guys in New Orleans are specialists in the 1930s. And so playing with them, it felt as though I was in some sort of a time warp, right? But it was great. I mean, there's such a great feeling in that city. There's this groovy, it just has a groovy vibe.
We get it, it's New Orleans.
You know, and we went to get sandwiches for between takes, and my husband was the sandwich boy, the errand boy, and he was on a bicycle, and he had his panniers loaded up with po' boys, and he was followed by a marauding pack of New Orleans dogs on his bicycle, and he was, you know. So this is the sort of stuff that happens in New Orleans, right? You're like, I'll throw them a catfish one, and then I'll cycle really hard to the studio. So, I mean, it's a great city. It's very inspirational, and you know, the thing about this kind of music is that life informs it, and New Orleans is so full of life.
Indeed. About 25 years ago in this studio, we had a guitarist and a singer named John Pizzarelli. And you had the joy of playing with his dad, Bucky, who is a legend.
Yes.
A freaking legend, and you got to play with him.
Well, I played with them both, but I recorded with Bucky.
Yeah.
And that was really neat, because between takes on that session, he'd say, so Tony Bennett, or he'd start telling these stories, and you realize that you actually were playing with somebody that played with and knew your idols, that knew Benny Goodman, that knew Zoot Singles. Yeah, it was just so cool. It was really great. And I think he was in his 80s when he made that recording with us. And I mean, if ever there was an advertisement for jazz being an invigorating force in somebody's life, it's watching Bucky play, because he had this strength in him. So very, very cool to get to play with somebody like that.
His kid's pretty good too.
Yeah, he is.
John is pretty good too. You've got a performance tomorrow night at the Jazz Bistro in downtown Toronto that we should let everybody know about in case they want to come.
Sure, yeah. We are doing our Christmas set, and we'll be doing that at the Jazz Bistro, which is this beautiful stage, the piano, oh, beautiful grand piano. I'll have my sextet. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Awesome. Well, we're glad you could come into TVO tonight and give us a little sneak peek of all of that. And keep on keeping on. And
That's
let's
the plan.
tell those lungs to hang in there.
Yes, thank you.
Because they are yours now, right?
They are, so thank
Awesome.
you.
That's Canada's Sweetheart of Swing. Alex Pangman. Thanks so much, Alex.
The Agenda with Steve Paikin is brought to you by the Chartered Professional Accountants of Ontario, helping businesses stay on the right side of change with strategic thinking, insightful decisions, and business leadership. Are you on the right side of change? Ask an Ontario CPA.